last lesson on these lines, the end of Aeneas' speech. This lesson's a bit of a doozer. Nunc etsi interpres divum Iove missus ab ipso, testor utrumque caput celeres mandata per auras detulit. I'm going to stop right there. Now even a messenger, an interpreter, divum, this is divorum, of the gods, syncopated, of the gods, missus, sent, a Iove ipso, I'm getting the ablative here, by Jove, or Jupiter, himself, ablative with ab. This is what we call ablative of agent, where ab means from. Now even a messenger of the gods sent by Jupiter himself. When you have something done by a person, which we call agent, then you use the preposition a or ab, and we use the ablative. We call that ablative of agent, because this was done by a person. Testor utrumque caput. Testor, I testify. This is a deponent. See how it has a passive ending, but we're translating it actively. Testor, testi. I testify on each caput. So you should put an in there, on each head. And what's he mean by I testify on each head? I testify on my head and on yours, because we're the only two people standing here. I testify on each head. I swear it, is what he's saying. Detulit, brought down. Mandata, orders. That's the accusative. Detulit comes from de fero, de fere, de tuli, de latus. It's a compound of fero, fere. Brought down orders through the swift celeres auras, through the swift airs. Through the swift airs. And I believe he used this word before when he talked about Mercury coming down to warn Aeneas. And he is talking about Mercury here, right? Mercury is the messenger sent from Jove. And we read that portion of the text earlier. It was just a very quick address. It said, what are you doing? You need to get out of here and get to Italy. ASAP. So one more time. Now even a messenger sent from Jove himself, of the gods, messenger of the gods, sent from Jove himself. I testify on each head here, yours and mine, meaning, has brought down orders through the swift air. Now the air wasn't swift so much as Mercury was swift, so transferring that adjective to him in a poetic way. Ipse deum manifest in lumine vidi. I myself. Now the verb is vidi, which is a perfect. E is to it, are endings in the perfect active. So I, it's ego, is the subject, and ipse, I myself. So ipse just goes along with whatever the subject is if it's nominative here. So I myself saw the deum, the god, Mercury, in manifesto lumine, in manifest light, in plain light, ablative. In trantem muros, now this is accusative because it's going with the deum, entering the muros, the walls. So here we have synecdoche, a form of metonymy, part for a whole, meaning that he was entering the city. I guess he could be entering the walls of a house too, but either way it has this poetic feel, entering the walls of the city or the walls of the house. And I housey, another verb in the first person, also ego is the subject, and I myself drank, housey, the idea of draining something or chugging something. I drank his vocem, his voice, his words, meaning his auribus, with these ears. One more time. I myself saw the god in plain light, entering the walls of the city, supply, and I drank in his voice with these ears. Next part, Decine meque tuis incendere teque querelis, Italiam non sponte sequor. Got some nice alliteration here with the sponte sequor. And let's translate it. Desine, stop. That's an imperative, telling Dido to stop. Stop incendere, complementary infinitive, inflaming. Stop inflaming. Me, te. Both, we got two quays, so both me and you. Tuis querelis, these are ablatives, with your complaints. Wow. Stop inflaming both me and you with your complaints. It's like, get over it, accept the will of the gods, this is how it is, and let's just be Roman about this and stoic and do it. Don't get all emotional, Dido. Stop inflaming both me and yours with your complaints. I don't imagine she would take that statement very well. Italiam non sponte sequor. Sequor, I follow. Sequor is from sequor sequi. It's deponent, so passive ending. Active meaning, I follow. Italy, I follow to Italy, right? I guess you could say ad Italiam. Non sponte. And you got to put in mea. Not by my own will. And we used that word sponte earlier when he said if I had my own will, I would go found the Troy again, right? But I don't. I follow Italy, not of my own will. Aeneas ends his whole response here with this very short line, and it's quite short compared to his other longer sentences that we've seen, and it is an unfinished line also, so Vergil didn't touch it up completely, but it is the end of his address as we have it. So that does it for Aeneas's address. Thank you for bearing with us and making it through this rather long one. Lesson 15, Valete omnes.